You just unlocked your phone for the 94th time today. You don't even know why. A man who was born a slave, owned nothing, had no phone, no Wi-Fi, no algorithm, wrote the exact instructions you need to break that habit. Here's what's actually happening to you right now. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. Every waking hour. And here's the thing nobody talks about. It's not the phone itself that's destroying you. It's that the phone has hijacked the one thing that Epictetus said determined the entire quality of your life. Your prohairesis. Your capacity to choose. Every time that notification pulls your eyes before you've decided to look, your phone has made a choice for you. And Epictetus, who lived from roughly 50 to 135 AD, who was beaten as a slave, who owned a wooden bed and a lamp and nothing else, wrote a book called the Enchiridion, which literally translates to the manual. The manual, written 2,000 years ago. And it describes exactly what's happening to you with a precision that should genuinely disturb you. But before I get to the manual, I need to tell you what Epictetus said about the single biggest mistake people make when they try to fix themselves. Because most people who try a digital detox are doing exactly that mistake. Stay with me. Some things are in our control and others not. That's it. That's the whole philosophy in 7 words. But here's why your phone breaks this rule in a way nothing in human history ever has before. Every previous distraction in human history, gossip, gambling, wine, you had to physically move toward them. The phone brings the distraction directly into your nervous system at zero friction. Epictetus described what he called phantasia, the impression. When something appears to you and your mind immediately grabs onto it, rushes toward it, assigns it meaning before you've had a single second to evaluate it. He said the untrained person is constantly enslaved by their impressions. That every impulse they act on was actually someone else's choice that colonized their will. Now think about what a push notification is. It is an engineered fantasia. Designed by a team of engineers, optimized by machine learning, timed to hit you at your weakest moment, to produce maximum impression, maximum click, maximum compliance. Epictetus was a slave. He spent years under a master who owned his body. He said, the worst kind of slavery is when you don't even know you're enslaved. When you willingly hand over the only thing that was ever truly yours, your capacity to choose, and you call it entertainment. So what was the mistake I mentioned? The one most digital detox people make? Here it is, and it's something Epictetus spells out in chapter 1. Most people try to fix an external problem by solving it externally. They delete the app. They buy a dumb phone. But the problem isn't the phone. The problem is what Epictetus called the wrong locus of control. And he has a 3-step fix that nobody talks about. We're getting to step 1 right now. Step 1. The dichotomy of control, applied to your phone. Epictetus says separate every single thing in your life into 2 lists. What is in my control? What is not in my control? He's very specific about what goes on each list. In your control, your opinions, your intentions, your desires, your responses. Not in your control, your reputation, other people's opinions, the algorithm, whether your post gets likes, whether someone texts back. Now here's where this gets surgical for the phone problem. Most people pick up their phone because they are seeking something outside their control. They want validation, not in their control. They want connection, not fully in their control. They want stimulation, temporary, external, not stable. Every one of those pulls is a pull toward the wrong list. Epictetus says, seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life. That sentence was written about the Roman Empire. But read it again while thinking about your For You page. Step 2. Epictetus calls it the pause before the impression. He writes, when anything from the meanest thing upwards is attractive or serviceable or an object of affection, remember always to say to yourself, what is its nature? If you are fond of a jug, say you are fond of a jug. Then you will not be disturbed if it be broken. Apply this to your phone. When you feel the pull, when you reach for it without deciding to stop, name what is actually happening. An engineered stimulus is attempting to produce a conditioned behavior in me. Just naming it, not fighting it, just naming it, is what Epictetus called working with your impressions rather than being worked by them. He also says this: if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Your phone cannot disturb you without your permission. Every time your mood shifts because of a comment, a comparison, a number, you gave permission. The question is, did you decide to give it? Or did it happen to you? This is the gap between the person who uses a phone and the person who is used by one.
We're almost at step 3, the 60-second daily practice. But first I need to tell you about the man who actually proved this works. Not a productivity guru. Not a tech CEO doing a digital detox for PR. A Navy fighter pilot named James Stockdale, who applied Epictetus's exact framework to survive 7 years of torture as a POW, and came out mentally unbroken while others fell apart. That's what this philosophy is actually rated for. Admiral James Stockdale was shot down over Vietnam in 1965. Before he ejected, he thought, "I'm leaving the world of technology and entering the world of Epictetus." He had been reading the Enchiridion for years. And when he landed in the Hanoi Hilton, one of the most brutal prison camps in modern history, he used the Stoic framework chapter by chapter to structure his resistance. He said the prisoners who didn't survive psychologically weren't the pessimists. They were the optimists, the ones who kept attaching their well-being to external outcomes they couldn't control. We'll be out by Christmas. Then Christmas came. By Easter. Then Easter came. Each disappointment broke them because their hope was in the wrong column. Stockdale held the line. Because Epictetus had already told him, nothing external can touch what you choose not to hand over. The phone is not a war. But the mechanism is the same. The moment you need the phone to feel okay, you've already lost the thing the phone can never give you back.
Step 3. The 60-second evening practice Epictetus prescribed. He called it the evening review, adapted directly from the Pythagoreans. Before you sleep, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Where did I go wrong today? Not to punish yourself, just to see clearly. Did you pick up the phone mindlessly? Did a notification change your mood without your decision? 2. What was I right about? Where did you hold the line? Where did you pause before the impression? Where did you choose rather than react? 3. What will I do differently tomorrow? One specific thing. Not use my phone less. Epictetus hated vague intentions. He said, on no occasion call yourself a philosopher, and do not talk about philosophical principles before you have learned how to live them. So one thing. Concrete. Small. Operational. Epictetus's students did this every night. In a stone schoolroom. With oil lamps. They didn't have the word dopamine, but they understood its mechanism better than most people who use it in sentences today. They called it the pull of preferred indifference, the gravitational tug of things that feel good but don't constitute good. Here's what nobody tells you about Stoicism and the phone. Epictetus is not anti-technology. He's not telling you to throw your phone into the sea. He spent his entire life teaching using the most powerful medium available to him, direct conversation, live lecture, face-to-face. He was a master of the tool he had. The Enchiridion, the manual, is 53 chapters. It takes 45 minutes to read. And it contains more practical information about surviving the attention economy than any self-help book written in the last 20 years. Not because Epictetus predicted smartphones, but because he understood something about human beings that hasn't changed in 2,000 years. The enemy is not the distraction. The enemy is the part of you that welcomes it. The manual was written for you. It was written for this moment. A former slave who understood what it meant to have your choices taken away gave everything he had to teach one thing: how to remain free inside conditions you cannot control. This video made you think. Subscribe. Not for the algorithm. Because Epictetus would tell you, the person who learns and doesn't act has accomplished nothing. So pick one thing from today. The dichotomy. The pause. The evening review. And start tonight.